Hello, good morning and welcome to turn 31 of Benchu. Let's see. Quite a few things to get through, but otherwise quite a straightforward turn. We got a message from Pythium. I asked Pythium how his war was going, and apparently it's going pretty well. He mentions that Marignon and Abyssia joined in. I think where he says Abyssia he means Agartha, because I think I've made that mistake as well, where I accidentally call Agartha Abyssia. Sounds like his war is winding down though, which makes me wonder if he's going to start turning his attention toward me. Especially if he's, if he's been in a war with Agartha, it makes me think like they're going to be friendly for a little bit longer. But who knows? Next we researched Alteration. This is perfect. We now have Moors of the Earth. There's some other stuff, Alteration 5 as well of course, but I mean, I was looking at this Bone Melter, looks kind of interesting. Area Effect 1, so it doesn't affect many people, but it says it just instantly kills people if it hits them. Magic Resistance negates of course, but that might be interesting to use against low MR thugs or something like that. And Baleful Star is an interesting kind of ritual. Because it only needs it only takes 7 pearls, and I guess it increases misfortune in a province. I mean, it might be interesting to dump on, a capital or something just before you get to it. And Iron Warriors as well, but that's such a short range spell. I don't know how I'll use that. Anyway, I've now decided to switch to Construction. I want to get this to 4. At a minimum, I want to be able to start crafting Bloodstones with my Pretender, because those things are amazing. And I'll talk about those once I can actually build them. So what else happened? I searched for Holy Sites, didn't find one. I didn't really expect to. My Pretender was attacked by a horror. This was kind of cool. Horrors are no joke. Like, clearly of course my Pretender is pretty buff. It's going to be pretty difficult for any single unit to kill her. But this thing is still, like, pretty beastly. It's got 22 action points, with 22 protection, 15 defense, 17 magic resistance, 19 hit points. And it gets 4 attacks per round, which are all magic damage. So, I mean, the fight goes as you'd expect. My Pretender just kills it, but still, that thing is pretty nasty. Next there was a battle in Nisia. This was just Ulm throwing a retreating scout at Pangea's army. I guess he was just doing recon. Nothing too interesting. I did notice that he's got 15 of these Centaur Sages, and they all have Astral 1 and then 1 path, and he's got them in a sort of little communion. So that's kind of interesting, but the fight literally lasts 1 turn because the scout just retreats. So we don't actually see them cast anything, so I don't know what they're scripted to cast, only that they cast Communion Master and Communion Slave. Then we had an unexpected event in Mammoth Grove. We got 11 Nature Gems, which is awesome, and a free lab. But I don't think we're going to be using this lab for anything. The only thing you can recruit here is Woodhenge Druids, and that needs a temple. And it's right next to God's Tomb, so I'm not going to be forting it anytime soon. But the Nature Gems are great. And then my scout was discovered by Ulm, and that went exactly how it always goes. Finally, of course, Alcacephales' god has been officially vanquished. RIP. Gone but not forgotten. Speaking of RIP, this scout has 1 hit point and he's diseased, so I'm getting rid of him, just in case you wondered what this arrow was. I'm suiciding him against Thronewoods. His last sort of action in this world will be to do recon. Okay, so what are we doing this turn? Well, first of all, I noticed this province has this weird icon on it. It's like a... I don't know if you can see it on the video, but it's like a hooded figure with a dagger. And I noticed that a lot of my mages in this province have disease. So this guy has disease, this guy has disease. And if I looked in my army and pressed D, these highlighted units are also diseased. So a lot of my units are getting diseased in this province. If I press I on this province, it says, people here are in very poor health, and a diseased beggar that is not far from death is no uncommon sight. So, I don't know what that is about exactly, but something about this province is diseasing my units. So with that in mind, I'm moving them all to Arco. You know, it probably would have been best to move them to Arco anyway, because, like I said, that has the direct link to White Harbour. But that's a shame that a lot of my units got diseased. Fortunately, my Communion Master and Pretender did not get diseased, but even so, that's kind of interesting. I don't know why that occurred. The province was being patrolled and it has 25 PD, so I don't think there's a hidden unit here doing anything. So that's what all these units are doing. This guy's just picking up these strays. He's moving to Arco. In this province we have a Yogi moving the last 3 units also to Arco. In Arco we're recruiting archers for days. And that's it for recruitment. Everything else is just, you know, standard mage recruitment. So where does that leave us? Well, it leaves us with this guy. I've named this commander A Day at the Beach, and he is now officially going to take our underwater units underwater. I can only hope that 30 Naga warriors can take out between 10 and 30 shamblers. Because if they can't, well, I don't know. Can this guy cast anything specific that's interesting? I don't think so. He's got very low magic paths. So I'll just let him cast whatever he wants. Come to think of it, these units are sacred. Maybe I could cast a blessing. Yeah, let's cast some blessings. And then cast spells. Okay. So he'll be heading underwater, and then we can move through these provinces and maybe attack man on shore here. I might have to recruit some more underwater units from Devourer in order to take Lake Vastness and such. But we'll see how it goes. In this province also, I noticed that my Communion Masters, my Nagarishis, all have different specialties. So this one has Water 4, this one has Nature 2, this one has Astral 2, and this one has Earth 4. So I named them all sort of, the Water guy is Hazy Spring Mornings, the Nature guy is Cozy Autumn Evenings, the Astral guy is Starry Winter Nights, and the Earth guy is Lazy Summer Afternoons. So they're my new Communion Masters. And I've still got, of course, the other Communion Masters as well that are moving over. So next turn I think I'll attack White Harbour. I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but I also switched my research to construction to make bloodstones. Yeah, I think I already mentioned that, didn't I? Because I want these Communion Masters to all have a bloodstone so that they can all spam Moors of the Earth. Because that would be awesome. I think that's it for doing stuff this turn though. I'll just quickly go through my commanders. I've got scouts hanging around still. Scouts. Still got 169 gold to spend, but I think I'll just save it. And that's the end of the turn, I think. Yep, I'll leave it there. And I'll see you next time. Hello, turn 32, I think. Lots of stuff this turn. So first of all, Jomon replied to us. He does not mind me taking Province 9. And he tells me that Man's Pretender is currently in 46. So I checked, and that's this province here, 46. And we can actually see that he claimed the throne here, the Throne of Law. So I can only assume that that's what that is. So let's check what that throne is. Law. Dominion gets order +1. Alright, well. Seems pretty appropriate for a Throne of Law, I guess. We also hit Construction 3. That does give us Legions of Steel, but no new items yet. Proclamation from Ulm. A vampire count is now his prophet. Fair enough. Battle in Thornwoods, that was the scout I was suiciding. Battle in Fungwood, this is Pangaea killing province defense. Not very interesting. Battle in Devourer. When was the last time you saw a independent battle? Fucking a long time ago, let me tell you. Now this goes even better than expected. You can see they just got zapped there. That's by Hypnotize, I guess. And then I guess the damage is the spit. And then these guys are red. What's that about? Enraged. Did I do that? Poison spit. Venomous. Okay, I don't know why those guys are enraged. Also, goddamn that sound that Naga warriors make is annoying. Wow. I have no idea what's going on, but one thing's for sure is my Naga warriors ruin those shamblers, so that's pretty good. So we now officially own an underwater province, including a kelp forest, which is fabulous. Nature gem income up to +4. We've got quite a good bit of gem income now, it looks like. Next, there was another battle that was just, this time Ulm killing Pangaea, PD. This puts Pangaea in a compromising spot now, because he can't retreat anywhere. He has to fight and win big. Okay. Then we got 2 gem events in Assad, which is very, very appreciated. Fire, water, and earth, and then fire and astral. So that's fantastic. Yeah. Hopefully we get some more of those. And then an unexpected event in God's Tomb. This is really weird. One of your mages has befriended some magic beings. So we go over, and we've got a bunch of gnomes. I don't know. They're stealthy, and they have glamour. They are old. They have a slap. I don't know what. Wait. Effect on damage shrink. What? Alright. We have a bunch of gnomes that slap people and shrink them, apparently. I don't know what that's about. Sure, we'll go with it. It coincides quite nicely with our recruitment of this guy, who, turns out he was an Earth 3 adept. So this guy is fine to be a Communion Master, I think. So we'll move him. You can only move 1 map move per turn, unfortunately, but that won't be too big a deal once we're attacking man, because we're going to jump between fortresses, I guess. And what else did we get? A worldwide event. This is from the Throne of Law, I think. Oh, well, it is. It says so. Order +2 and unrest decreased. So a lot of my provinces are now only Turmoil 1. Some are Turmoil 2 still, somehow. And another one of our scouts was discovered. Okay, so what are we doing next? Well, next thing we want to do is capture... Mew would be the easiest to take. But let's take Lake Vastness. Let's see how we do against Ichthyid warriors. We did great against Shamblers. So hopefully Ichthyids will fall just as easily. Where does that leave us? That leaves us with this province, Arco. I went ahead and scripted all of these units. This was time consuming. I had 318 units plus all of the commanders. So I'll just quickly go through them. We have Nagaraj is still just casting Vine Arrow. He's just got some undisciplined Marquettas there. And he's also got the Apsaras. The Apsaras are up here next to one of my Nagarishis. You can probably guess what he's going to do, but we'll get to that. Naginis are still casting Destruction and Earthmeld. My Prophet is leading some archers. Again, these are just like rows of archers behind rows of Bandar. Another Nagini casting Destruction and Earthmeld. The weak Communion Master is casting lots of Destructions. Hazy Spring Mornings is going to cast Bone Melter in the Communion, because I just want to see what that does. And of course man has a dragon, so I might as well try spamming instant death spells, just in case I get lucky and hit the dragon or something like that. Frisbee Champion is going to cast Maws of the Earth and then Blade Winds. I went ahead and gave him an Earth Gem. Autumn is going to cast Iron Warriors. He's the Nagarishi that's up by the Apsaras, so he'll hopefully buff those guys. The Apsaras, incidentally, are on hold and attack, so they'll wait 2 turns. Who else we got? Autumn Iron Warriors, yep. Got all my archers, more rows of archers. But my Pretender is going to cast Wind Guide, of course, and then some more Destructions. She's down here. We've got Winter is going to cast some Gifts from Heaven. See how that does. Lots of slaves, lots of slaves, lots of slaves. Summer is also going to cast Maws of Earth and then Blade Wind, so he's got the same script as Frisbee Champion. And then the rest of the guys are just slaves. So that setup is overkill just for taking PD, but, you know, it's a proof of concept, I suppose. So we'll go ahead, we'll move all of the mages, all of the slaves, my Pretender, and my 2 commanders. And look, I've done it again. These guys are sneaking. Let's try that again. Move. Okay. So I've left behind Childlike Wonder because Childlike has a disease. I don't want to start relying on a mage I'm not going to keep. Also got another scout with some gems on, so he can move with my army to replenish my supply of gems and earth gems. And let's just hit Y in this province and see what it looks like. When I finish recording, I'll probably just double check that this is all correct, but for now, we'll assume that it's all correct. Where does that put our research? 223. So it's going to be 2 turns before I can craft Bloodstones, which is why I'm moving out my Pretender. If I could cast Bloodstones next turn, I will probably just leave my Pretender behind, so that she can start forging immediately. But that's that. Now, speaking of forging, at the end of the last turn, after I finished recording, I actually went back in and I decided to forge some magic items, which you can see here. I forged a Dwarven Hammer, which gives you cost reductions when you forge things, so I thought that was a fair enough, good investment. And then I also forged a Clam of Pearls. This gives you temporary Astral Pearls in battle, so when you go into battle, basically you just have 2 pearls, but you can't use them for like normal stuff. They don't go into your currency treasury like this. They're just like temporary gems for casting battleground spells. I don't have any astral spells that I really need pearls to cast in battle yet, but I was looking through some stuff. There's some cool stuff in Conjuration has Light of the Northern Star. This requires 2 pearls, and it makes every wizard on the battlefield more powerful in Astral. So that's cool. In Alteration, there is Battle Fortune, which gives all of my units luck, and Doom, which gives every enemy unit a curse, which sounds incredibly annoying. And there was also... Enchantment is a difficult skill because I don't have any points in it yet, unfortunately, but eventually there's also Anti-Magic, which gives all of my units magic resistance. That will be incredibly useful. So they're the kinds of things I'll use the clam for eventually, but for now it's just, I don't know, I just forged it thinking I might need it, but not yet. And that's the turn. Moving scouts still. one thing I will do, I think, is I'll send a quick message to Jomon. Yeah, I'll also just explain. He hasn't been on IRC, but he's going to get a message from the bots, and he's going to get like a message that's like 4 days out of date. So I'll just explain that. And I'll also send a message to Pythium. Okay, I'll say that. Again, I don't like giving away what I'm doing, so I don't want to say that I'm invading man. Because then he'll know my attention is elsewhere. But I want to be proactive in being friendly with Pythium because I don't want him to attack me. So let's send that. I think that's fine. No idea what Agartha is doing. I haven't seen any of his units in any of these provinces that I've had scouts walking around. Who knows? So next turn we'll hopefully have another water province. I might start building temples in these water provinces just to really annoy man. Because that'll help out my pretender as well, of course. Speaking of which, I have a white candle in this province. That's great. I didn't notice that. Okay, end of turn. And I'll see you next time. And right now, I'm going to go back into that turn instantly and check that everything is correct. Because I don't want to accidentally sneak a commander in or something stupid like that. Thanks for watching anyway. Hello there, welcome back. Let's see. I think this point in the game is actually going to be a bit boring because I need a couple more turns to do things, apparently. Let's see. So first of all, another battle in Lake Vastness. Apparently, my Naga warriors are also pretty good against Ichthyos as well. I'm really impressed with these guys. These are like brutal. They just ruin these guys. They don't even get hit. Yeah, I think that's really cool anyway. The stats are amazing. So yeah, that's another underwater province for us. And I noticed that we can actually go straight from here to Igden. So yeah, let's do that. Why not? I don't know. Maybe I should build a temple in this province, or because there's so many dark candles here. I think there might be somebody else in the water somewhere. This province contains about 2 enemy units. What? I don't know, this seems really strange. I'd like to have more vision around this area. So, let's just attack Igden, just to be annoying. What else? There was another... Alright, there was a big battle between Ulm and Pangaea. So you can see from the report, Ulm lost a lot of mages, whereas Pangaea lost no mages. Ulm lost a bunch of black priests, who are earth mages, a bunch of fortune tellers who are astral mages. He lost a ton of illuminated ones. He lost 11 of these guys. And he lost 253 units, compared to Pangaea, who only lost 92, and lost no mages. So, I'll watch the fight. I'll watch it on super fast forward. You can see some of the cool spells that Ulm does. So, Pangaea's plan mainly is just to... he just buffs up all his centaurs, and he casts Swarm and things like that, and just walks forward. Ulm, meanwhile, casts Iron Blizzard, which, I don't know if you noticed, but it's like just decimating his front lines at the moment. Decimating Pangaea's front lines. And Pangaea replies with a couple of gifts from heaven. And Ulm's evocations are kind of scary, honestly, but there's just no match for Pangaea. can see he cast some kind of swarming skill. It summons all these large ants and scorpions and things. Red ants, giant scorpion. Look at the, oh, Pangea's just tossing out blade winds now. They've finished their script. And now that the forces meet, this is the point where Ulm just routes. I did notice he's got these weird units that you can see that are on fire. These are fiery imps. They don't look too good, to be honest. I was kind of hoping that Ulm would bloody Pangea's nose a bit more than he has. Yeah, but at this point the fight is over, Ulm's all running away. So Pangea's still kind of scary. Pangea did at least lose 53 centaurs. It's not quite half, but you know, a lot of his centaurs were killed. So that might set him back a little bit. And then there was a battle in White Harbour. I thought Man actually owned this fort, but apparently he didn't. He was still sieging it, so I guess it still belonged to Arco. Or, well, I suppose it belongs to no one at the moment. But this isn't very interesting because he has all of his units just set to retreat. Which they do. Either they're set to retreat or they just don't have a commander, I'm not sure. But, you know, my army starts casting spells, but there's nothing to cast them at, so not terribly interesting. Okay, so the entrance to the fort is already breached, which makes sense because I guess Man has been sitting on it for ages without actually storming it. Then unfortunately my troops started to starve due to lack of supplies. You can see in the top left, this province produces 346 supplies, and I use 450. So what I've had to do is give all of the starving units to my pretender, who's just going to head back to Arco. Okay, yep. If you just noticed a cut in the video, it's because I just had a coughing fit and had to edit that out, probably. Okay, where was I? Yeah, my troops were starving, so I gave them all to my pretender. And I'm going to move them back to Arco. Now, fortunately for us, we hit Construction 4 next turn, which means I can start crafting endless bags of wine, and that will give us a supply bonus. We can also currently forge, what are they called? Enormous cauldrons of broth. These also give you a supply bonus. Problem is that they require a level 3 nature mage, which I don't have. And I also can't craft boosters yet, because again, I need Construction 4. So at Construction 4, I'll start making some items that can give me supplies. I'll also start using my pretender to craft bloodstones, which means what I really want is I want to recruit one of these guys who gets air as a random, because then I can use the air adept to cast whatever it's called, wind guide, and then I won't need my pretender at all. She can just start blood hunting and forging blood items, and maybe we can break into blood at some point as well. So yeah, so the rest of my army is storming the fort. We'll take it next turn. Pretender and this commander are moving back to wait a few turns, do some crafting, and then return and reunify my forces. I'll send a day at the beach to Ictham. We'll start capping some rear provinces, I guess, just to be a thorn in his side. And that's it for movements. I've still got a lot of scouts. I'm trying to move more scouts down to this part of Man's territory. You can see these guys are staying near Agartha. This scout is carrying my gems, and the rest of my scouts are sitting in this part of Man's territory. Speaking of which, I did finally find some of Man's army. Still mostly just longbowmen, which, you know, they are kind of scary, but I don't actually have anything specifically that counters archers. I'm just going to have to try and just, you know, walk into it and hope that my battlefield evocations are just better That's all I can really do. But it should be fun. I noticed that these underwater provinces are quite actually good for income. This one, Devara gives 100 gold. This one gives 100 gold. So my income is now 2,000 gold per turn, despite the fact that I'm, you know, terrible scales. So that's really good. So I should probably be building temples. That's one thing I could be doing. I've got this Nagaraja. Maybe I could send her underwater in the wake of a day at the beach. She could just build temples underwater. Yeah, let's do that. I'll move her. Where does that put my research? Let's make sure that's still above 70. Okay. I'm recruiting a few units in Patala and a few units in Arco. This is bounded by resources, unfortunately. No other really interesting moves happening. I guess that's everything. That was kind of brief. Next turn is going to be, I'm going to have to recruit 2 new slow to recruit guys, so that's going to take a big chunk out of my gold. So I won't spend anything this turn. I'll just stockpile it. But next turn I'll look at spending a lot more of my gold, I think. That seems like a sensible thing to do. So that's the end of the turn. And I'll see you next time. Hello. Another day, another turn. I haven't done anything yet in this turn. This is going to be totally from the beginning. So let's see. Message from Midgard. So I spoke to Agartha's player recently on IRC. Apparently what happened was Pythium, Agartha, and Marignon all decided to attack Midgard at once. Which is why Midgard is so desperate for allies at the moment. Apparently Midgard is fighting to the bitter end, but he's kind of got his work cut out for him if he thinks he's going to beat 3 other players. Also learned from Agartha that Agartha is going to war with Raga as well. So I guess Midgard managed to ally with Raga. And Raga is attacking Agartha. I also learned that Jomon is also attacking Raga. So I assume Raga is somewhere in this location. That means we probably don't have anything to fear from Jomon. We don't have anything to fear from Agartha. I think Pythium sustained the bulk of the losses against Midgard, so he might be behind as well. Alm and Pangaea are at war. I think my boys are all quite secure at the moment. With the exception of Man, of course. Let's send a quick message to Midgard. Just to say, I won't be helping you, buddy. Sorry. Let's see, okay, what else? We got construction for... I started putting my points into thaumaturgy, mainly for the site searching spells. But there is some other cool stuff in thaumaturgy as well. I mean, there's cool stuff in every school, really. I'm not too sure where I should be going, but that's been a theme for this whole game, so... new prophet for Agartha, okay. Battle in Icton. Looks like my Naga warriors just crushed everything. Oh, they retreated. Well, that still counts as crushing everything. What does that give us? Icton. It's got a... I can't click a laboratory, it's got an abandoned laboratory. Okay. Can I build a lab here? No. So it's got a lab. It's got a lab that I can use, I think. Yeah. So it's got a lab that I can use, but it's also... it's an abandoned lab. That's strange. I wonder if I can recruit... well, I can recruit scouts, let's do that. Let's have this be another scout province. That's really useful, actually. And that'll do. I'll go back to the water now. This province only gives 36 income. The water province gives us 100 income each, so... let's head back into the water. Maybe we can attack man's provinces around here. Just to make him a bit nervous. Okay, what else? We took the fort. I thought we might. Let's have all these guys research. A lot of events. Unexpected event in Devourer. Diarrhea has spread among the militia. Defense -5. That's a shame. What have you been eating, Shamblers? 10 province income in Packwoods. Okay, we'll take it. Another lab, and 7 nature gems in Bog of Beasts. Alright. Ooh. Nice. 700 gold for nothing. Where's Fircliffe? Fircliffe, okay. That's great, that's awesome. So we've got almost 1,500 gold this turn. My scout got discovered by man. Here, right, okay, so he's moved his army down. Okay, I guess he wants a fight. That changes my timescale a bit. Let's see what his army looks like. Oh no, I heard animate dead. Oh, he has death mages. I don't want to fight death guys, they summon lots of skeletons. He's air and earth and astral. That sounds like a really brutal combo. I see lightning bolts in my future. There we go. Okay. Precision 10, precision 9. So his longbowmen are going to be backed up by lightning bolts. That's going to be pretty hard. Okay, well since he's moved his army down, I'm going to have to move all these units back to White Harbour. Looks like taking the fort gave me more supplies in this province. So that's handy, I don't even need supply items anymore. Okay, let's see what we've got. Let's give everything to whoever. And, just move them back. I'm pretty sure movement in friendly territory takes place before movement to enemy territory, so if he attacks me this turn, it won't interrupt my movement, I don't think. I should get into the castle, no problem. Fantastic! I got an guy. Oh wow. Oh, I hope I can get him though, before I get attacked. Because if my presenter doesn't have to cast Wind Guide, then I could use her as a thug, I guess. I've got Construction 4 now as well, I could start making items for her. Let's do that. Let's forge some items for my pretender, just in case I get to use her as a fighter. Boots of the Messenger give reinvigoration. I'll make some of those. Oh wow, we got a Nature 3 Nagarishi last turn. That's cool. So she could actually make cauldrons. Maybe I should do that actually. Let's make a cauldron. What can you do? I'd like to get a ring of regen. I need more nature. Let's see if I've got a nature mage over here. Childlike Wonder can build the temple. Nature 2. Forge magic item, ring of regen, okay. So that's Boots of the Messenger, enormous cauldron of broth. Let's see what you can make. Yeah, I remember that there aren't many good helmets. I think this is my best bet, because it just gives you protection and it gives you an extra attack. So why not? What else do I need? Ring of Regen, Boots of the Messenger, Horn Helmet. No idea what body item slot I can make. I don't think she needs one though, to be honest. That just leaves weapons. And shield. So, let's get a Vine Shield. A Frostbrand, Frostbrand, and a... This thing looks interesting because it gets 2 attacks per turn and gives me 4 defense, so I might get one of those as well. Sword of Swiftness. Do I have anyone that can actually make one? Only childlike. Let's have her make it instead. Sword of Swiftness. Citramaya can build a temple. Okay. So that'll be a fully geared pretender next turn. I'll have to change her script, of course, to make her a combatant instead of a caster, but... Depends how many turns Man gives me. Because if I can get this guy into White Harbour before he sieges me, then he can cast Wind Guide. And then my pretender is freed up. That's really cool. Okay. What else? Any units here? Nope. Recruiting another adept. Units here are all being moved. Let's move 2 more slaves, why not? Looks like, I mean, looks like the bulk of his army, so if we get one big fight, that might just be it. That might really set us ahead in the war. So we really want to do a knockout blow. I really wanted to start making bloodstones with my pretender, but like this is kind of urgent. So, alright, let's go through the scouts and everything. My scout there died, so let's move this guy in, I guess. You can stay there. You can stay there. Yep. Fine. This province contains a huge ice drake. That sounds scary. You can go up northwest. Lots of scout. Oh, I can't move there. That's a shame. Looks like Pangaea's on Ulm's capital. That's a shame I didn't see that fight. Okay, right, I got this Nagaraja. She can start building temples under the water. Oh, incidentally, I switched recruitment in Patala. I'm gonna just recruit Naga warriors every turn. Because they're really cool. Why not? This scout is waiting here to move magic items. But I don't need to do that now because I've got a lab in this province. So, he can start moving up. Go can move up. You can preach, I guess. Hide. Someone not doing anything. Let's see, this guy's not doing anything. He's got the highest pet. Let's have him search for sites. While we're here. Oh, we've got a site. Frozen lands. 1 cold gem. Oh, 1 water gem and increases cold. Okay. I really need to make better use of my gems. Hopefully I will now that I've got some construction, but... that's my gem carrying scout. Also not terribly useful now that I've got a lab here. Oh, a new adept. I'll script him when I need to. Forgot about that guy. Another scout. I guess he can move up. And you can stay there. This commander can wait here, I think. Because I'm doing some recruitment every turn, so... He'll be there ready to bring it to White Harbour when it's needed. Can I do recruitment in White Harbour as well? Yes. I get a scout. Oh, I'll get another commander actually. Just so that I've got one. Very few resources in this province, that's a shame. But we'll take what we can get. I think that's everything for this turn, isn't it? I'll put province defense up. I'll go quite high here, why not? Still got 625 gold. But that's fine, I'll just keep a nice stockpile for when I need it. Especially if I'm going to start pumping out temples underwater. I think that's it though. Next turn, depending on what man does, we'll see what our options are. That's a good point. If he sieges next turn, I could still move this adept into the province and break siege at the same time, but that means he needs to have gems ready, so let's give him 2. So he'll have them to cast wind. Yeah, that's better, okay. How's our research? 335, that's quite good. I thought it would be a lot lower because we're forging so much this turn. Okay, end of turn. And I'll see you next time. Okay guys, this is a good turn. This is a really fun turn. Turn 35, welcome. We are being sieged by man. Which is beautiful. But we'll get to that. Research in thaumaturgy is complete. Nothing terribly interesting here. Oh, I can cast Haruspex now. This is the nature site searching spell. And augury, but I don't have any fire mages, so not too useful. There's some really cool stuff in thaumaturgy. I know that this spell at Thau 7, Vengeful Water, this is supposed to be extremely good. And since I've been looking for a use for my water gems, maybe this is something we could aim towards. But it would require a significant research investment, so it's kind of a long-term thing. We'll be looking at that in 10 or 12 turns, maybe. But, you know, it's something to think about. There's a lot of cool stuff in thaumaturgy. It has a lot of these enslavement spells, like this is the big one. Which requires, I don't even know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 astral to cast this. But maybe I could, if I get up to like 4 astral and then boost in a communion, I could probably cast that. So that'd be kind of cool. But that's, I don't know, I don't think anybody gets to research level 9 in anything in these games. But, yeah. So we searched for magic sites. Battle in Mew. I don't understand what's going on in this province. The fight isn't too interesting, it was just 2 guys, of course. But I checked out the province, and it has a population of 50 because everybody is dead. So, you know, the province does have like a huge number of black candles, and if you look at the scales in the top left, it's Turmoil 2, Sloth 3, Death 3. So I guess the death has killed everybody off in this province. But the thing is, I have no idea whose scales these are. Because, like, the only people bordering this province are man, and it's not man scales. Man has, order and production. Order, production, growth, cold. So it's not man's. Marignon's here, but Marignon has, growth, and Drain, this has magic, and luck. So, you know, it's... Who else is... Coming from this side, like, Jomon is here. Maybe Jomon's here, but Jomon... It's not Jomon's scales either. So it might be Raga's scales, I guess? I think Raga's in this area. That's kind of interesting, though. I wonder if he's underwater, or if his dom is just, like, pushed out right over the ocean. Either way, yeah, this is a 50-pot province with 0 income, so... It's not the most useful thing in the world. But let's move them over here, into the pit. Take some more provinces. We'll take the pit, and then Deep Black Sea, and then Boat Eater, and loop around. And, see what we see in the sea. Okay. Battle in Ulm. This was interesting. Because Pangaea, as you can see, lost pretty hard. And it's quite a sad fight as well. But I'll let you enjoy it. Gonna put it on super fast. So those iron blizzards that Ulm casts are pretty lethal, as you can see. Those shadow bolts are horrible as well. The centaurs, as always, are scary, but they are getting whittled down, as you can see. That's a lot of dead centaurs. And look at that. Just at the turning point, Pangea's forces are out. And he takes the worst of the, because all these slaves are just standing here now, dying. And then this little guy jumps in. This little fucker, Ernst the vampire count, decides to jump into action. And all the slaves die. Yeah, so Pangea lost half his centaurs again. He's really running out of centaurs. You know, I mean, Ulm took a pretty heavy beating as well, of course, but you know, Pan just lost his entire communion pretty much. So he needs to replenish his slaves now. And Ulm retains his capital. So that's quite interesting. This is exactly what I was hoping would happen, is both of these guys have just, you know, they've hurt each other with no clear victor. Which is great, because over in the east, I know that Midgard is actually successfully managing to hold off Pythium, Agartha, and Marignon. So as long as Midgard survives, there isn't going to be a clear superpower in the east. Raga seems like he's doing pretty well, but Jomon's gearing up to invade him, so that might kneecap him a little bit. So this whole area might be distable for a long time. And if the same happens between Ulm and Pangea, if these guys just struggle and never ever actually come ahead, then that puts me, like, all I need to do is beat Man, but then, you know, the risk is now that exactly the same thing is going to happen with me and Man, like, we're going to end up bloodying each other but not actually knocking the other person out. But if I do manage to knock Man out and I start taking these provinces, I'm going to be in a really, really good position, I think. Because everybody else is just struggling with awful wars. Speaking of awful wars, apparently Lemuria is still in the game. I didn't even know this. I thought he was out, but apparently he's just AI. And he has like one province. I think he just has Lemuria. He just has Lemuria, but he's like... I don't even know, man. Let's check this out. I haven't actually watched this battle, I just checked the battle report, so I don't know. So this is Lemuria. This one guy with all these afflictions, this is Lemuria. I guess the problem is that these units are immortal. Yeah. So whenever he dies, he just reappears in the same province. And I guess Man hasn't been able to kill this one guy? Yeah, there he's dead now, but... And then there's this fight. So let's see what happens now. Okay, this is the actual siege. Oh, his god is still kicking as well. I guess he just never wins the siege. These wardens look pretty cool. 18 protection, 13 defense. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Apparently Lemuria is holding on quite well. Then there was this battle in White Harbor. This was the forces of man attacking me. Key thing to note here is 26 Magister Arcanes. These are mages with Astral 1. So as you can probably guess, there's a gigantic lightning bolt communion. So what do I learn from this? Okay, his army is fronted by these guys. These are really tough looking guys. They've got 16 morale, they're sacred. He doesn't have a major bless though, he just has thrones and his pretenders a little bit of fire. The long spears aren't too interesting. The longbowmen, of course, are devastating. And then he's got all these, mages. One thing I was kind of interested in is, do any of these mages have gems on them? But I'm going to have to go through them one at a time, which is unfortunate. This guy's got 2 pearls. I wonder what he's going to cast with 2 pearls. I don't think I'm going to get any everybody, I'll probably miss one of them, but... The interesting thing is... Oh, what's that? I have the Void. But, well, that's kind of interesting. Nobody has an air gem. Which I guess means he's not planning on casting Wind Guide, which is interesting. Because all of his Magisters have crap precision. So when they do actually cast Lightning Bolt, they tend to miss a lot. That Archer spam is just brutal. Yeah, this is going to be a really, really hard fight. I've kind of got my work cut out for me. Unexpected event in Devourer, 7 water gems, always good. 10 province income in Assad, always good. Lost a scout, and now I'm being sieged, and the enemy cannot harm our walls because we've got too many units in the fort. Okay. Now, I don't really want to break the siege because that means he gets to move first, but I think I've got to. I think I need to fight him quickly. I think I need to fight him now, and I need to capitalize on it, or I'm just gonna be in a weaker and weaker position, I think, because it's not like I can bring any more like big mages to the fight. At best I can just bring more chaff, and who cares really. So what I went ahead and did was rescripted my army, and I'm planning on breaking the siege now to fight next turn. So I'll go through everything that's been scripted. The army is laid out pretty much the way it usually is, just rows of units. This Nagaraja is going to cast Swarm twice. He's got 2 nature gems, he's going to cast Swarm. This spell says it conjures dragonflies, which I'm hoping are just like annoying flying units that will just go straight into his backline and distract him, because then maybe his mages will start casting lightning bolts on insects instead of on monkeys. So he's going to cast Swarm and then wait and then cast it again. And then yeah, he's got these units lined up, as you can see. Next, this Nagini is going to cast Destruction and Legions of Steel instead of Earthmeld. So this is just an Earth guy. Legion of Steel is the construction buff that gives units armor. I think what it exactly does is for every piece of armor they're wearing, they gain +3 protection. So that's a nice little boost. So Destruction and Legions of Steel. And Citramaya is going to cast Legions of Steel and Destruction. Joys and Ceremonies is going to cast Destruction and Destruction, but is also going to cast Lightning Resistance for the Lightning Bolts. So that only affects a small number of units. So I put him in the front line. He's like amongst the Bandai Warriors. Quite a few of my mages are now, which is very risky, but I have to do it to buff them. Hazy Spring Mornings is going to cast Fire Resistance, which is a similar spell but for fire. So he's also kind of in the front lines, and then he's going to spam Falling Frosts. What else? Frisbee Champion. Okay, this guy's going to cast 3 Maws of the Earth. If you remember, this is the big spell. This is an armor-piercing, big AoE, big range, big damage spell. This requires a gem, so I've given him 4 Earth Gems. He only needs 3 to get through this, but he can have a spare, just for for fun. Childlike Wonder is my mage who's about to die. She's horribly diseased, so she's like right at the front. And is going to cast Lightning Resistance 3 times, so she's got 3 gems. Oh, she's got 5 gems. Let's not. Yeah, you can have 5 gems. You can do something when you get off script. Your last stand, you're going to die anyway. Cozy Autumn is going to be casting Blade Winds. I figure I might as well just have one guy doing the standard Blade Wind thing. My Pretender, okay, my Pretender is now geared, as you can see. She's got 28 defense now, 19 protection. Magic resistance is 18. I wish that was higher, but it's too late now. I really wanted the regeneration, but maybe I should have got an anti-magic amulet instead. I don't know. So she's limited regen, so will recover about 13 hit points per turn. Fear 10, or 3. She has innate shock resistance, which is going to be extremely useful. She's got cold resistance from the Frostbrand. She's got Reinvigoration 3, and she's very experienced, of course, as well. And as for her script, she's going to cast Earth Power for the Reinvigoration, Mist Form, which makes you really hard to damage. Protection from Lightning, to add even more lightning resistance. Temper Flesh, which makes you take half damage from physical attacks, and gives you a bit of fire resistance as well, so I thought that would be really useful. And then Flight. So she's going to have 5 rounds of buffs, and then she's going to attack rear. So, I'm looking forward to that. Then there's all the melee units. I put the Apsaras in amongst the Bandar, just for the standard. Starry Winter Nights is also going to be casting 3 Maws of the Earth. Lazy Summer Afternoons is also going to be casting 3 Maws of the Earth. That's 9 Maws of the Earth. So as long as I get to turn 3, I'll start doing damage, I think. And then if I get to turn 5, my Pretender is going to jump in. Slaves, slaves, slaves. Kindly Grandpa here is going to cast Curse of Stones. This is a really interesting spell. It says that enemy units are severely burdened. It takes 300 fatigue to cast and 3 Earth Gems. And unfortunately magic resistance negates easily. But apparently this makes you take a fatigue hit every single time you move or attack or do anything. So hopefully that will really hurt is those heavy Warden units that he had at the front. And after that he's going to cast Legion of Steel and Lightning Resistance. And that leaves Kindly Grandma, who is coming in from Murtrand. She is going to cast Wind Guide, and then Phantasmal Army, but this might not be quite so useful as I thought, because I just noticed that that mage has that Eye of the Void, which dispels illusions. But we'll cast it anyway. What harm can it do? And then she's going to Thunderstrike once she gets off casting those buffs. So that's the Communion. Pretty nervous, because I think this is going to be the deciding fight for my sort of time in this game. I think if I win this handily, then that puts me in a really good position. If it's, no clear winner, I think I'm going to struggle for the rest of the game. And I think if I lose, then this is going to be quite devastating and really put me behind. I don't think losing this fight will take me out of the game, but it's going to put me in a really, really weak position. So as you can see, I'm moving in this little guy who just happened to have like a couple of archers. So sure, we'll have them as well. I might move this slave as well. I've got 16 slaves, but one of them is not going to be a slave till turn 3. So I could do with a 16 slave who's going to be a slave from turn 1. So he can come as well. Kindly Grandma is moving, and that just leaves breaking the siege. So let's make sure that I've got everyone selected. I don't need these commanders selected, do I? Are they scripted? Band in the Bandar. They can help break the siege, why not? Okay, just gonna double check that I've selected everything. Alright then. Oh, this is scary. Oh, I just noticed. Supplies 500, supply usage 500. Let's give this scout my enormous cauldron of broth. Supply usage 400. Okay, that's good. Oh, speaking of crafting, I did remember after I finished recording, I remembered to give one of my mages the dwarven hammer that I crafted. Almost forgot to do that. That would have been a waste. But yeah, next turn this is going to be the big fight, I think. So I'm really nervous, and I hope it goes well. But you know, you win some, you lose some. Right, what else am I doing? Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give this guy the hammer. And I'm going to forge a crystal coin. Because I've agreed to trade with Raga's player. I'm going to give him a crystal coin, and he's going to give me 10 earth gems and a horror helmet. Which is a really good deal for him. Because a path booster that he can't natively forge is a huge deal. But, you know, from my position, it's going to basically be a horror helmet at the cost of 9 pearls. Well, a horror helmet and an earth gem at the cost of 9 pearls, which I think is a pretty decent deal for me as well. Because what I'm hoping is that Raga is going to be destroyed by Agartha and Jomon in tandem anyway. So hopefully he won't be an issue. So that's what this guy's forging. What else can I forge? I guess it's not really worth forging anything until I can pass around the dwarven hammer. So I'll just keep researching for now. But I'll probably start forging a lot of boosters. Let's think. I know that I know that I can forge earth boots somewhere. Yeah, I can forge earth boots, which gives you an earth magic boost. I can do thistle maces, which give you a nature boost. I thought I could forge Starshine skullcaps as well. Maybe I need Astral 2? No, maybe it's Construction 6. Didn't realise that. Other boosters I can forge are the water ones as well, I remember. No? Water ring? Where are you? Well, I can do Robe of the Sea. Yeah, there's Robe of the Sea. I thought I could cast a water ring as well, but well, I guess I'll have to check on that. But yeah, we'll start casting boosters over the next couple of turns. Let's go through my commanders now, make sure everyone's moving. You're fine, you're fine. You're fine, you're fine. I guess these scouts aren't really gonna... Oh, I got a new scout, that's right. Let's, You're fine. You're fine. This province is free from enemy military units. The province has not organised any local defence. Well then, I think you know what we're doing. Attack province. I'll have to keep an eye out for other provinces that are like that. You're fine. You can come down, check out that fort. Sorry, this is really boring. I think this is why I usually don't record me moving scouts, because it's just a case of clicking N and just deciding who I want to move. Let's move this guy actually, because it looks like Raga is actually doing some damage to Agartha now. Right. Let's build a temple here. Alright, that's all my scouts. This province needs province defense. I can't build more than 5 units. Why is that, I wonder? This is a really strange province, have I mentioned that? Check my recruitment. Naga warriors. Bandar archers. Yep. I will have another grandpa next turn. I think that's everything. Very nervous about this. So tune in next time, next video, to see the exciting conclusion either of this battle or of my entire time in this game, depending on how well or poorly it goes. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.